I'm in a little bit of a hurry here because I want to do the video with my prediction for the ending of Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition as soon as possible. There are 2 days left for its release, and I want to show my prediction what they're gonna do for the new ending before they release it. Because if I get it right, which is very possible, anything is possible here. I think that when you have the kind of mind that is capable of coming up with those same types of stories, you have a higher chance of guessing what the other story is gonna do. And I want to do that video as soon as possible. However, I don't want to put that video as the first video and the intro video in the channel. I want to do something different, which is what this one is gonna be about. Just to let you know, I got my iPhone camera here, the other camera is there, and over there I got a watch with the time to be able to time myself and be under 15 minutes hopefully. So if you see me looking around like that, it's because of those three. But I'm gonna focus on this one. I'm gonna focus on the one I trust to get the video right, which is the phone, not surprisingly. So I'm just gonna tell you what I'm planning to do here and what I really want to do. So what I want to do is be a producer of great experiences for the people that love great experiences in entertainment like I do. In my case, I cannot be a director, I don't own a movie studio or anything like that. I am not good at drawing, so I cannot do a manga like the guy that did Naruto Shippuden or Attack on Titan. But I am good at writing, and I have been, as a hobby, writing for stories, my own stories and all that, as an personal entertainment for a long time, for years. So if you ask me, like they're doing the resumes in the interviews for jobs, like how many years of experience you got with storytelling, with planning, interesting thrillers and all that, and I will say, well, I got like 12 years in that. Obviously I haven't worked at a job that is doing that, but I did it for myself, I did it for fun. I'm gonna share with you so you can see that this is not just me talking. I got everything there, a link to all the fan fiction that I wrote, which is a lot. I have done so much, but I did the kind of fan fiction that is basically like me writing a sequel for that story. So it is fan fiction because I'm not the original creator of that series or of that movie piece of entertainment, but the new story that I made is original. So in a way I was already training to do all of this with that hobby that I had. So I did sequels which ended up being better than the ones they made officially later. For Naruto Shippuden I did one which is better than Boruto. For The Matrix I did a sequel which wasn't like a movie for, but it was more like a series that was a sequel to the first trilogy, and I call that The Matrix Revelations, and I published that. Thankfully I published all that so that people can see that the dates in which they were published are much earlier than when the official ones were released. So I came up with that, and I wrote and edited that and published it in the fanfiction.net platform earlier than when the official one was released. So I didn't have any way of knowing if it was going to be better or not. It was. Obviously I'm glad about that. But basically I really wasn't thinking about doing it seriously, though there was something in me that I already knew that I had to train. I already knew that I had to develop the ability more. Like I already have this storytelling genie in me, basically, in my mind, in the subconscious. It was already there, basically. So I did a lot of that. I'm gonna share that in a link here that you're gonna see. I'm gonna put in a post below the video, so go to the post there and you will be able to see it. And I've done a lot of gaming throughout my life, lots of adventure games, RPGs, all that, especially with good stories because I always like that. I did a lot of beer gaming in the last 5 years. In fact, I actually stopped like a couple months ago and decided that it was time to not quit 100%, but definitely put it way on the side, because if I continue with that hobby, I wasn't gonna have time to actually write the books, write the series, do these great experiences that I want to share with the people. And I definitely want to sell, but they're great, and I want to sell them, at a good price, like cheaper than the other sources of entertainment, way cheaper than any vacation, especially nowadays, cheaper than other books. I will try to, because I'm kind of like an unofficial expert on all these things. I've watched a lot of series, a lot of anime, play a lot of RPGs, video gaming. I'm even ranked. Like if you look for me in PSN at psnprofiles.com, my username there is Valkyrian Creator with a B. And even rank like globally, like top 50 and all that, of people that play too much of that. So I know I have really good understanding, personal understanding of how the industry of entertainment is doing and what is the best that we have. What is the best that we have, the most entertaining stuff that we have in the games, in the video gaming. Astro Ball Resumation, Half-Life Alyx, all that, I play all that. In the, in this series, TV series, especially anime series, like Big Three, Naruto Shippuden, One Piece, and Dragon Ball. I still think Dragon Ball Z is the best one. Some people like Super a lot, but I still like Z the most. Obviously, I've watched many science fiction movies, read many books, so I have a good idea of what the top entertainment is in the industry, in all of them, in gaming, in a series, in books and movies. So I began to realize that the ones that I was doing for me, as a hobby, as something cool to do, were actually better, or at least in the same league of the top 5 in each category, in the games, in the actual books, in the series, like Stargate SG-1, like Fringe. So I need this series, I need these books, these stories, that were basically as good as the ones that are considered top of all time, and in some cases better. Like for example, Foundation series by Asimov, I enjoyed it, but the ones that I came up with, they have more action. So I think that they are a lot more entertaining, will be a lot more entertaining for today's generation, because they have the interesting plot like those books had and still have, but they also have a lot of action. Like I'm the kind of person that I need to have something important going on and happening, and something new, like every chapter, every episode, to keep me entertained. And that's how I do my series, that's how I do my stories, because that's what entertains me. And I began to realize, well, in these amazing stories, they're like experiences. When they're in the top, among the best ones, we're talking Final Fantasy X, best TV series in science fiction like Stargate SG-1, maybe, it's not that good, but maybe Stargate Atlantis. The Stargates that came after that were all crap. I'm being honest here with you. Skip them. Don't watch that. It was so bad. But SG-1 and Atlantis were really good series. So here was knowing series and other stories that I felt were even better than those. And I was the only one enjoying them. I was the only one getting personal motivation, getting the experience, because it's an experience. These stories, even though they are imaginary, they give your mind, they give us an experience. And I was the only person who knew those experiences, and I eventually came to the conclusion that, you know what, man, I need to be an author and write this and begin selling this and sharing it, because they are so good. So I feel like I'm doing a disservice if I keep them to myself. However, I was too focused on the other things in my life, like the other path I wanted to take, like the other professional path, which I ended up hating. I didn't like it. And where I was working, how the other things in my life were doing, and I continued, and we're talking about this for years. There's a reason why I have 12 years of experience in the books and the entertainment before I actually begin, publishing and selling this stuff. It is because I was more focused on the other things in my life, and I really wasn't writing the books on a daily basis. I was doing it like for myself, because it gave me personal joy, personal happiness, but it was like sporadically. Like sometimes I will sit and write a lot on a weekend. Sometimes I will go like whole week without writing anything, and it was like sporadically like that. And that doesn't work to produce a series. So you actually have to sit and do it every day. Otherwise, you don't end up with a book in an amount of time that is reasonable. Something like a year or something like that, or ideally less. I hope I can do that in less. So, to make the story short, it's kind of like this. These things like, if you're meant to do something and something is for you, it's gonna find its way. It's gonna push you back to it in one way or another, and maybe the other things in your life are not gonna work, which is basically what happened to me. And you're not gonna feel happy about the other things, like the job I had, which I don't have anymore. And instead of feeling sorry and sad, I'm just gonna take a few months off, and I'm gonna write what I consider one of the best top 10 science fiction books and series of all time. Like, instead of just feeling sorry for myself because the other things are not working out, I've just decided that I got enough money to take a few months off, and I do. So I'm gonna take these months off, and finally, at last, I'm gonna dedicate a few months to working hard on something that matters to me, something that can make a difference, not just for myself, but for other people that are experiencing it. Because I feel like too many things, like all the other accomplishments that I did, both academically and personally, they were just about me. And I wanted to do something great, to do something noteworthy, memorable, long-term, special, that is not just for me, that it can actually make a difference for other people as well. And I know that this matters to me because the only job that I enjoyed out of all the jobs I had, which were several, even in different industries and all that, was teaching. Like the only one that I really enjoyed, like it was something that I could see myself doing long term, was teaching. In my case, my subject was math, but I like teaching in general. It doesn't have to be math, it could be something else that I know. Like, I really enjoy teaching as a whole. But I feel that my true calling, like this inner innate thing that goes beyond, but that is a part of me, maybe it comes from the subconscious, maybe it doesn't come from me, maybe it's something subconscious that I have there that was sent to me. Like if I was, I'm a believer. I am a believer in God, but I am not really one of these Bible people. So I'm not very religious. I'm not religious, but I'm definitely a big believer in God. And I'm definitely very spiritual. Like, I've done meditation things and all that, even for several months. It's not something new to me. And I feel that, I'm not gonna be like many people who hit like a wall or something that wasn't ideal for the other path, the other thing that seemed like it was gonna be the ideal path and it wasn't. And I'm not gonna get depressed. Oh, hell no. That's not for me. I'm not gonna just feel sorry for myself because I'm not already married with kids and with the ideal love and the ideal wife. Although I would love that, right? I'm not gonna be one of those guys that, I just wanna go my own way, I don't want women. That's bullshit. No, I do want love, and I want someone special. I want all that. But those things just haven't been working for me. So I'm just gonna go with the next best, and probably what I should have been doing, which is what I was doing as a side hobby all this time, which is the writing. I can't believe how happy that has made me, and the fact that I haven't shared it yet. or at least not completely. You know, I have some things out there that I can share with you, like the links to all the fan fiction. I did sequels for The Matrix, for Naruto Shippuden. I did like a couple episodes for a prequel for Attack on Titan, but I didn't finish that. But if you read it, you might like it, especially if you like Attack on Titan. I did my version of Episode 8 for Star Wars, which was so much better than The Last Jedi. When I went to watch The Last Jedi at the theater, I probably was the person that felt the saddest at that theater, because I wrote and I shared something that was better than that. And what I did, probably no one knew it. So, this is why I need to make these videos. This is why I need to do it like this, so that more people can know what I'm sharing with all of you. And, in a nutshell, I need to put an end to this, otherwise I'm gonna go like half an hour with the video. In a nutshell, the way my mind is about these stories and the storytelling, imagine like your 3 favorite series of all time. It doesn't matter what your genre is. Imagine your 3 favorite stories of all time, in books, in TV series, or in movies. Imagine that they don't exist. They were not made. They don't exist in our world, in our reality. Well, I am like that right now, but I know those stories and they haven't been made, and I can do them. Like imagine, like basically I can do something that is at the level of One Piece, but for intelligent robots and humans, which will be a big hit as a series right now, because we're kind of like slowly entering kind of like an age of that. So, if we're gonna enter an age of that, and I know such an amazing series with those themes, I should share it. I also know another one with related to Mars and the Earth. So the 2 locations are Mars and the Earth, and the 2 protagonists are for Mars, and they are 2 women. Super interesting story, and it is the first one that I'm gonna do. It is I was thinking about doing I might actually do both at the same time, like the one with the intelligent robots and the one with Mars and the 2 women that come from Mars to here, because both stories are so great. Like if they were done as anime series, they will be better than Attack on Titan. They will be a big deal. Like if I could draw that thing and do it as a manga, it will be the next Attack on Titan in terms of popularity. But I cannot draw, so I have to do it writing, which is what I can do well. So I haven't decided if I'm gonna do it like at the same time, like a few chapters of this one, sell that as a volume for that story, and then a few chapters of the other, sell that as a volume for that one, and then switch between the story with the intelligent robots and the humans, and the other series with the 2 women from Mars that come to Earth, and obviously at a different time, not exactly right now, but it's a very interesting story. So the one I'm gonna give priority to is the one with Mars and the Earth, and the 2 female protagonists, because I think that is going to resonate with so many people, with so many also women readers. And also it is a story, in addition to the science fiction, in addition to the interesting stuff, in addition to those sort of things, I'm also going to do something that is great for any person with that story, which is I'm gonna make sure that story, that season 1, that book 1 of that series, teaches people of any age that read it what is the true difference between love and lust. I don't think that people are being taught, they're definitely not being taught that at school, right? We're not being taught any of this at school. We have to learn on our own, making mistakes, and it's a lot of crap. This should be taught. And in reality, it's not really taught to us by our parents either. It's one of those things that all people should learn and know, but they typically learn and know about that by making mistakes, usually hitting yourself on a wall, and then you understand how things really work. And I think that if it was possible to teach everyone or anyone that reads my story, my book, that sort of thing that is so useful for life, and if in addition to that they get something very entertaining and a great story that they're not going to forget for years, most likely, it's something that I should do, really. So I decided to finally I'm doing this. It's not easy because I'm like, I shouldn't be smiling right now. I'm making a new YouTube channel and doing something like this, which is like happy land. Because I'm basically, yeah, once again, jobless. I need to look for another job. But this type, unlike the other ones, you know, I just look at the way things are and I decided that, you know what, I got enough money to dedicate 4-5 months to me, to my life, and to doing something that actually can help other people, that can actually be entertaining, interesting, and in my opinion very inspiring to other people. There are many chunks of 4 and 5 months in my life before that I have dedicated and worked really hard on something else that I didn't even really care about. So why not do it now? You know, work really hard during 4 months in my life and dedicate those 4 months in their entirety to something that, you know, makes me feel inspired, right? Happy, alive, you know, interest on my day to day. And if it can do the same for other people, that would be great. And naturally, and I'm gonna finish right now. I'm gonna finish the video now. I'm going over 20 minutes already. I love talking a lot in the same way as I like writing a lot. So it shouldn't surprise anyone. In essence, I also want to make this it's not gonna be this doesn't, I don't want to make this a channel like everybody else. Like I come into YouTube and there are so many cool people on YouTube, but you begin looking at all these channels and everyone seems to be wanting to sell you something, and they are not really wanting to make friends with you. Like they are not, it's just like, oh, here I am, watch my stuff, buy my stuff. This is the stuff that I want to sell you. Okay, I also got cool stuff that I want to sell, that I want to share with you, but I also want people to feel like they can befriend me, like they can be like this author that is capable of doing things at the level of Jules Verne, at the level of Asimov, but more entertaining because I do a lot more action and thrillers than Asimov. Asimov was good with the plots, but you had to jump 10 chapters to get to the good stuff. So he really wasn't about action. And I feel more entertained when there's action there. So, you know, there's this guy that hopefully can be my favorite author. I'm gonna shoot for that. I want to hopefully be your favorite author, or at least a cool guy that you found here, that you can read things from this guy and share his experiences, you know, by following here basically. And like, yeah, I want to make this something personal, because obviously this is about me, but I want to make it personal and also interesting, cool, useful, and friendly for you, right? So I don't want you to feel like, there's so many times that I've seen these channels and I want to say hello to these people and I want to ask them a question, and it is impossible. It is impossible because if you, and I did, by the way, I did. I'm saying this as a viewer, as a consumer of videos here in YouTube, not as someone who's making videos right now. Like I send them like a message, asking a question. I just wanted them to know that I thought that what they were doing is great. However, these people never reply, never answer. You can never make a connection, a real connection, right? Like in the old times when we could, it wasn't just about us and we could actually talk with other people and they will answer and listen to us and do things for us, not just for themselves. And basically I want to do that, like and I can do that right now because I'm beginning. Like if this exploded in 1 year or something like that, and I had like, I don't know, like 1 million followers, something like that, and everyone is sending me questions, obviously there's only one me, so I cannot do that sort of thing, like making a little video to answer a viewer's question or a reader's question. If I get like 1,000 of those questions, I cannot answer all of them, right? But I will make a video back then telling you, hey, this is what is happening, so that everyone will understand and know. I don't see anyone doing that, like the other people, especially the famous people. You cannot get a hold of these people for anything. Like, and it would be so much better if you could. I would be so much more inspired if I read some hours, some chapters or episodes by this guy, and I can go to his YouTube thing, whatever, profile, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, because these YouTube things are starting to look like Facebook nowadays. So it's a channel, but it's starting to be like a profile with videos. And I want to be able to ask a question and get a reply, and it's gonna make me feel so much better. So you will be able to do that. So yeah, if you have any question for me, obviously something nice, right? Something good, something interesting. Like, needless to say, I have too many things. Like if I really want to write a whole book, like in 4 or 5 months, even if I'm doing this daily, I have no time to waste. If there's any time wasted, you don't finish a book in such a small amount of time. Especially if it is like a great book that is probably at least 300 pages, at least. Because I write a lot, so it's gonna be more than that. And yeah, essentially, you know, I have no time to waste, so I'm not gonna even look at, like, if I see a question or a comment or something that is negative, you know, if it is something that in my opinion offends the other viewers or readers, I'm gonna delete it. If it doesn't offend anyone, but it's negative, which is understandable, not everyone is gonna love me, not everyone is gonna like what I do, I understand that. In that case, I'm not gonna delete it. Just leave it there. It's not offending anyone, including me, but it's just telling me that, you know, maybe they didn't like it this much. That's okay. So I'm gonna leave those there, but I'm not gonna waste time replying to any of that. I will only naturally make a reply video for something interesting questions. Like, you got a science fiction action thriller author here. Ask me something interesting, please. Don't ask me something that you can ask anyone. Ask me something like from space, or maybe something else if you want. You're free to ask whatever you want. It's and if I like it, and if I think that they will make like something interesting with the reply video, I'm gonna go for it, and it's gonna be one of the videos I'm gonna put here. And gosh, Lord, I'm getting like things from Reddit, replies from Reddit there, and they're showing up in the phone. So yeah, this is it. And next I'm gonna do first interesting stuff here. My prediction for the ending of the new Xenoblade Chronicles X special, definitive edition in the Switch. It hasn't been released yet. Remember this, I'm making a prediction about this new ending 2 days before it was released. There are no videos of it anywhere. I don't have any way of knowing it. If I guess this right, I'm gonna put this in my sci-fi storyteller's resume. Because, you know, something that I've realized, and this is the real reason why I can do sequels and fan fiction for stories that are not mine, that are from other authors. The Matrix, Naruto Shippuden, all that. When you have a good mind for stories, you're capable of grabbing one that has already started. So you didn't begin it, maybe it's not yours, but you're capable of continuing with it at pretty good quality that is at least as good as the original author. But in order to do that, you have to have good imagination. That was why I was able to do the sequel, Matrix Revelations, that was better than the one they did officially in the movies, which they call Revolutions, I think, right? I mean, it wasn't terrible, it wasn't the worst, but could have been so much better, and the one I did is so much better. So Matrix fans, read it. I'm gonna put the link in something I'm gonna post there below the video, so that you can check it out. And going to the... Alright, it's gonna be half an hour. Shouldn't be surprised because I like talking a lot. So I'm gonna do my Xenoblade Chronicles X prediction video. I'm gonna tell you a lot about it, so fans of Xenoblade, you're gonna love it. If I get it right, I guess that only tells us that you know, it's normal to guess what other authors are gonna do if you have that same kind of mind that comes up with those types of stories. And guessing the stuff in Xenoblade is a big deal, because in my opinion, this is, you know, the Xenoblade, Xenoverse as a whole is nowadays among the best stories in all fiction. They are video games, but they have really good stories, really good plot twists. And in the case of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which in my opinion is one of the best stories in fiction, not just in games, but in fiction, it did really good even in the ending. And that's what I'm planning to do, you know, with my stories, but there are gonna be different plots, different characters. You know, it's an all new experience. So I want to have the joy. It's gonna take me a lot of work, but I'm gonna have the personal joy of being able to give people, being a producer of entertainment. So I remember how much joy Final Fantasy X gave me as a kid. I remember how much joy watching Stargate SG-1 gave me as a young adult that likes science fiction thrillers and adventures and all that in the science fiction genre. So if I can do series that are that good or better, it's what I want to do. It's what I should be doing, hopefully. Like, if I manage to make money out of that, it's what I will be doing, like, long term. If not, I will still do it, but like, it's gonna be like, I'm gonna have to, after the 4-5 months that I want to take off and focus on me and on the freaking stories at last. Obviously, if they're not making me money, I'm gonna have to do something else as a job. That's pretty obvious. But if they make me enough, this is the way, because it's something that, you know, I'm giving me, even though I'm working a lot for it, I'm also giving myself a great experience. And this is an experience that is not just about me. It's not like getting good at tennis, at a sport. That's not something that I can take away from me and give it to you as an experience. You know, you have to go to a tennis court and practice it yourself so that you can have that experience or that skill. But the story, I feel, is something that gives me the experience, and I can take it from me by writing it, right? Writing it and selling it in chunks, and pass it on to you, and then you're gonna have that great experience too. So then it's not like the sports that you have to do it yourself to get it. It's not like you know, like everything else, like jobs and everything else, you have to put in the work and get it. But in this case, you don't have to put in any work. If you just have to buy it, and in my case, in the case of books, this is gonna be very cheap, because we're not talking about Paradise Island Vacation. We're not talking about something expensive. We're not talking about even video games. Video games are getting really expensive. The consoles are like $500. VR is expensive. VR, you gotta put several hundred there to get in there. But what I'm gonna do, which also gives those kinds of you know, Final Fantasy X level experience for someone young, someone who's 12. Stargate SG-1 level experience for someone who's older like me, someone who's already, older than 20 or so, 25 to 35, you're gonna love something like Stargate SG-1. So it's something like that, like what I can deliver, and something like Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So that was something that actually pushed me to do this even more. Like I went to Xenoblade Chronicles 3 in YouTube. Like I didn't play the game. I watched like one of these 30-hour long videos to know the story. And when I finished it, I loved it. It was such a great experience. But then I sat down and I thought, oh my God, the ones that I can do are this good too. So what am I doing just keeping them to myself? I need to share this, right? So here we are. This is how I'm beginning this. This is not gonna be just about the stories. I'm also going to share personal stuff. If there's something that I think that can motivate people and that I am doing, like maybe I will share one day. Like one of the things that I want to do in this 4 or 5 months, in addition to writing the first book and sharing not just sharing but also selling. I'm gonna sell it, even though I will sell it cheap. I do want to sell it. I also want to do something for my personal fitness. Like I used to be much more fit than what I am right now. Like I'm not too fat or anything like that, but I used to be able to run a lot and then go play tennis the same day, and I was so much more fit than what I am right now. Like right now, the pants that I put on to make this video, they were from back then, and I could barely close it. So obviously I have gotten fatter. I am not as fit, so I would like to gain some fitness, go back a few years, at least in terms of no one is gonna take me back a few years to write the stories or biologically, but at least in terms of fitness, I can do better than what I'm doing right now, and I can also at the same time begin sharing these things with all of you, and who knows, maybe I can be your favorite author here from YouTube with the stories. Not just with me, because I think the stories are much more interesting than me, honestly. And maybe I can be another friendly person that you can add here, because I think that YouTube is becoming a lot like Facebook used to be at the beginning. So I'm just beginning here right now. So at this very beginning, it's almost as if you were adding a new friend. I'm just getting started. But if this explodes and you ask me a cool question at the beginning, I won't forget about you. That username, that question, because I want to make videos also from anything that people ask me that is a good question, a question of substance, right? Remember, I used to be a teacher. And I used to be in tutoring, so I know how to make these cool videos explaining things and answering questions and all that. And that's it. Going for the... Yes, I need to make the other video. I should do it today. The one for my prediction for the ending of Xenoblade Chronicles X in Switch. If I get that right, it's gonna be a big deal. That's gonna be one of the many small orals in my storyteller's resume, because obviously the stories are a much bigger deal than that. But I think it says a lot about someone if they can, like in a weekend's time, pick one of the big stories of today that is really drawing people and predict the ending just like that. Obviously that's someone that we can trust to deliver other great stories of his own, if he has such a mind that can grab the other great stories of the authors and predict the whole thing. Or if not predict, literally give it another alternate way to do it amazingly, which you know, if the prediction is not completely right, it's what I will be doing. What I will be doing is telling you how I will do it, basically. Telling you how I will have done that ending if I was the one doing that. You know, that's another reason why I want to do my own thing, because you know, I want to be known for making new original series, not just for making sort of like fan fiction sequels and all that to other series that already exist by other people. I want to be able to do my own thing and bring people joy with my own path, right? See you next time. Let's begin. I want to do it. I want to do the, like, I'm all dressed, but I'm not wearing shoes right now. I think I'm gonna put on shoes to do the Xenoblade Chronicle X prediction, because I'm really excited about that prediction. I think I'm gonna get it right. We'll see. So remember what I told you at the beginning. Here we have the phone camera. There I have the other camera right there. I'm not sure about that one. This is the one I trust right now, so I just using both. And over there I have a clock, which I ignore the whole time. I don't like, you know, being restricted when I'm talking and when I'm writing. Like when I'm talking, I want to give a good talk, and if it takes me longer, that's fine. When I'm writing, I want to make the most epic chapter you have ever read. And if I make it much longer, that's fine. What matters is not how long it takes me. And I don't like editing things. Like if I make it like a weird thing with my eyebrow or something, you're gonna see it. I'm not a fan of cutting things out of the video or any of that. Alright, see you with Xenoblade X. Recap, like in a short. You're gonna get amazing experiences from me in the form of stories, so in the form of writing. You're also gonna get here a very friendly channel, so if you want to befriend like a friendly guy like me, go ahead, here I am. And if you want to ask me something, go ahead, because I'm beginning right now. Like if I have thousands of people sending me questions, I cannot answer everything, impossible. But because I'm beginning right now, I want to make videos answering what anyone wants to ask. Someone that has the mind. What do you want to ask someone that has a mind that is capable of producing stories at the level of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Stargate SG-1? I don't want to say the Foundation series, even though I liked it, because I have a lot more action than that. So I think I can do better. I don't say this to brag, I'm just being completely honest here with everyone. Like I read the Foundation series, I enjoyed it. I think that Golan Trevis was a cool protagonist, but it was so boring to get through the chapters that didn't have anything important, noteworthy in them. So in my case, I'm gonna try to put something like that, like exciting in every episode, in every chapter, so that it's gonna be hard for people to not be hooked. Not be hooked, well, if you didn't read it. If you didn't read it, well, you're not gonna get hooked. But if you begin reading it, it's going to be like going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Never goes down, because the whole thing is like that. The two stories are gonna be the one with the two women from Mars that travel to Earth, and there's a great plot that's gonna develop there. Obviously, they're gonna meet people from Earth and all that. And the other one is with the intelligent robots. So Mars and intelligent robots are gonna be two big themes in these stories that I have. And I think they're gonna be two big themes for, you know, in real life, for us here on planet Earth in the next 10 years. Perhaps much more than that, beyond that. Like, you know, like computers. If the intelligent robots come and societies change because of that, then they will be here to stay. So it's going to be a long-term thing. So I think it's great if we can have an extremely inspiring and exciting series that also has those topics, themes, ideas in it. And that in addition has some very interesting characters. So it is not just about the fact that it is on Mars and on the Earth, or the fact that we have intelligent robots in the story. It's much more than just that, right? All right, this is gonna be it. Yeah, I'm gonna stop it here already, otherwise I can go on like another hour. See you next time.